Welcome, welcome, welcome to this Get Paid to Be the Change event. I'm sure this is going to be the first one. You are in for a treat, ladies. For the next 3 days, we are going to bring you some beautiful content that is going to change your world, change your life. I have brought two of my fantastic House of Preeminence colleagues into the studio with me. We are collaborating on this, and this is going to be probably going to be something that you've never heard of before. So first of all, I'm going to introduce myself, allow my beautiful colleagues to introduce themselves, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what you can expect over the 3 days before we dive right in. So first of all, oh, there you go. Here's somebody who's on Facebook. Hi. So I am Jenny Parker Brown. I am the founder and CEO of House of Preeminence, which is the premier holistic success platform for change makers in the world. It has been called the Vogue of Feminine High Performance, the magazine for the New Earth, and so many other things. We are making ripples, actually. We're making ripples with our platform. We're making ripples with our work. We're making ripples with this event, and we want you to be able to get paid for making ripples. So this is going to be a juicy few days. We've got gifts to give away. So whether you are attending live, or if you're attending live, please put #live in the Facebook group so we can find you. If you're watching the replay, please put #replay so we can still find you, and we know that you've attended the 3 days, because we've got some awesome gifts to be able to give away. I'm going to go into those a little bit more tomorrow, as we want to really kick off today, but we've got some fabulous gifts for you, as well as this free event. I mean, come on. So what I'm going to be talking about is that what the event is all about is alignment, and this whole beautiful idea and practicality of getting paid to be the change. And what I want you to embrace over these 3 days, ladies, is to really open your mind to new possibilities. I want you to become a money possibilitarian. Okay, I coined that one this morning. I'm rather pleased with it. I want you to open to becoming a money possibilitarian, because that's what we're going to be opening the doors for you to do. And now what I want to do is also to give the context to this event, why we decided to share this with you. We know that women everywhere are being called more than ever to be effective in the world, in our work as coaches, consultants, people helpers, soul, heart-driven entrepreneurs, wellness practitioners, creators, homesteaders, mothers. Women are just being called together. And we know that the number one issue that stops us making the change of the scale that we want to, I'm talking as womankind, is finances. So we want to unlock some possibilities today, which are going to shift all that, not just for you, not just for your family, but also for generations to come, and also for the projects in the world that you and we care deeply about. So we're going to be talking more about that. So first of all, I'm going to introduce you to Dawn. Dawn, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us why you're here and why you're part of this?
Thank you, Jenny. Yes, I'm delighted to be here. Thrilled, in fact, to be speaking as part of this event. So my background, very briefly, actually, I was a corporate marketer for many years, and I was wrapped up in the corporate world. And I was really felt a deep calling to shift into women's empowerment. And for many years, I was a coach, a trainer, a mentor, a leader. And I began to realize that we could activate all kinds of abilities in women to feel empowered, but the gap for many people was the money and the wealth. And a lot of the women that I was aligning with, who were, as you described, women who had a huge heart to actually want to make a practical difference in the world, to be able to support their families differently, but also to be able to give back. And I'm sure everybody here is like-minded. Like, we all know that if we had overflow of money, that we would be able to deploy it with great use in different parts of the world, in different communities, with people that we want to help and support. So my focus right now is enlarging on what it means to be a heart-centered visionary entrepreneur and actually help women to create the wealth, which we're going to be speaking about on Friday. So when I come to do the main session on Friday, we're going to be showing how it's actually possible to embrace the feminine principles of having desires, being in the state of receivership, and also allowing ease of money flow. So I'm super excited of how this all fits beautifully together. So thank you for having me here.
Yes, we're definitely an aligned trinity. Thank you. So yes, I'm going to explain how this all kind of fits together and dovetails. But first of all, Babylicious herself, Karen, introduce yourself, darling.
Hello, my lovelies. So those of you that don't know me, I am the resident money chick of House of Preeminence magazine. Been there since the start, core contributor extraordinaire. And what I do, if you don't know me and you're new to my work, is I teach the energetic language of money. So the easiest way that I've found to explain what I do, because people do find it a little bit difficult to grasp, they assume that I clear blocks and restrictions and limiting beliefs and all that stuff, and it's not that at all. What I do is, if you imagine that you are going to a foreign country and you don't speak the language, and you are trying to communicate to either your tour guide or your concierge or your waiter what you want, and they don't understand you, they're not going to be able to give you what you want, and they're going to give you the wrong thing, and vice versa. So you miscommunicate and they misunderstand. And that's exactly what happens with the universe when you're broadcasting energetically in a misaligned way, in terms of money, finance, abundance, fill in the blank, anything to do with that. So I teach alignment through the energetic language of money. I've been doing that for what feels like about a decade now, in earlier versions, up until the point where I created my own modality called the Conscious Wealth Code. I've known Jenny for a long, long time. We go back way before House of Preeminence was birthed. And the reason why I'm involved in this is obviously because Jenny and I are very, very connected and very much in sync. And if she asks me to do anything, I why would I even entertain the idea of no when it comes to her? But also because she mentioned the word legacy. And what we're going to be talking about over the coming days, and indeed weeks and months, as we move forward with this incredible birthing of this opportunity and what this could look like, is creating a legacy, leaving a legacy. And I'm assuming that there are a lot of people that are listening right now who think very much like us. We've got families, we've got kids, we've got grandkids. We want to leave a legacy of wealth so that they don't have to worry and have the concerns that maybe that we did. But there's also a bigger vision. I know from very, very early on in my business that I wanted to be able to give back as like a business angel to people that weren't in a position to invest in themselves, because I struggled at first. And when Jenny first mentioned this opportunity to me and how we could get together as this magical trinity and become the founders of this incubator and this whole global movement and become part of that, I was absolutely in. And my job, as the way I see it, is that tomorrow, when I am going to be teaching some of my work to you, I teach the energetic language of money through alignment. So what that will mean for tomorrow is I'll be teaching you how to understand how you're broadcasting energetically, how you could well be miscommunicating, and what you need to do instead so that you're communicating in a way that the universe can understand and react to what you want versus what you don't want. And what that will do is, if you put your big girl pants on and you start moving that needle of alignment, it will open up the channels so that as we move forward with this project in the weeks and months, you're naturally vibrating at a frequency where the universe will use that as a channel to bring you the wealth and the abundance and the money in whatever way it can. And so that's why I'm here. That's what I'm here to do. And I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. And there's so many of us, there's so many of us here. Like, we've got a great audience.
This is awesome. So thank you. Yes, you will see how all of our topics dovetail and they flow in around each other, because this is about alignment, because this is about getting paid to be the change. So first of all, I'd love to ask you a question. I really encourage you to grab a pen and a notebook if you haven't got one already, and just take notes when you get inspired and things that really kind of light you up. And the first question I want to kick this off with is the question: if money were no object, what would you do? If money were no object, what would you do? This is the $1 million question, because in actual fact, to get paid to be the change, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. You should do in the full expectation of money being no object. And I'm going to let Karen develop that tomorrow, because what we're going to be doing over the 3 days is I'm going to be addressing you and your part of getting paid to be the change. So this is all about you. Tomorrow, Karen's going to be addressing money and you. And then on Friday, Dawn's going to be addressing money. So we can't separate them. They're all linked. And just coming back to this overall idea of what alignment is, with all of the scientific proof and the research there is now about how we are energetic beings, and that everything is energy. We are frequency. The world is frequency. The world functions in frequency. The frequency of money is Babelicious's corner. So, but I want to talk about you and priming you to be in that state. So what I thought would be useful would be to talk about messaging, because it's something that preoccupies change makers a great deal, especially now in this really uber-saturated market, online, very, very complex market, is the whole idea of messaging. What's our message? And we get confused about our message, our mission, our vision, how it all, how it should. There's so many conflicting teachings and programs about whether it's your elevator pitch, whether it's your purpose, your life purpose. What is it? So I want to give you some a little potpourri of insights into what messaging is and why it's going to be useful for you in the context of this event. And what I would also want to reassure you, and this will surprise those big girl pants off you, but hopefully not during the event, is that there is going to be no upsell at the end of this event. We are not going to be selling you into anything. We're not going to be proposing a program or a 7-step process or anything. We are creating something together that we are also involved in, that a lot of other people are also involved in. I'm going to just invite you to come in with us. So this really is a new adventure. I know that it is. It's kind of blown Dawn's mind. It's blown my mind since I've been in, and we are starting to see how we can ground it and make it available to the people who can most use it, which is those women who are motivated not just to upgrade their lives and be empowered to do great things, but also to have more power in their own services, to be able to be more effective, to accelerate the work that we're doing. We need to accelerate it because we know the urgency. We know the urgency of getting people helped. We know the urgency of the disruption and the solutions that lie in healing and unity and love consciousness and the feminine principle. We know that, and the thing that the biggest thing that will help that is being in alignment with money. That is our biggest tool, being in alignment with ourselves and being in alignment with money. So let's go back to this messaging thing. I would love you to embrace the idea that messaging is not a tactic, that most change makers and service providers think of messaging as a tactic, something you've got to kind of figure out, and that, and that it's effective and it's attracting clients. Your message is a way of being. In fact, your life and your energy is your message. Your life and your energy is your message. And you're communicating that 24/7. So I want to ground this in the context of you building your business, and give you some insight into how you can do that more effectively. So to be the change and to get paid to be the change, you must be the frequency of your message. So you can have a really clever message, but if you're not the frequency of your message yourself, there is going to be an incoherence, and people will pick up on it. Everybody will pick up on it. So it's not going to be like lightning strike, and just something flash of lightning. It's just going to happen with things that feel stuck or slow or, or unclear, or what's my big thing, or what should I do next, or, or where should I go? And I want to encourage you that if you get clear on your own message and your own alignment, the rest will fall into place. So there is this energetic messaging that we're doing the whole time. Heart-brain connection. It's already been claimed that people, that you've got 3 seconds to enroll people anywhere. Open the door, enroll. No, that's it. Same on a live. Same on a podcast, same on anything. You've got such a short space of time, and you're doing it with all of your communication. You're doing it on your client calls, your discovery calls, on your collaborations. So what is the most powerful thing that you can do to have your message clear, so that your message is your life, that it is coherent with your life purpose, which is different, and it is coherent with your presence, which is your energy. So in my Trinity Code work, what we do is we reverse engineer your business model. So rather than this frontal lobe logical approach of deciding that my business is going to be like that, that's how I want my business to be. This is how it's going to be. These are the people I want to serve. That's the revenue I want, which is mostly figured out in the conscious brain. If you're soul driven, purpose driven, heart driven, then you'll already be very, very sensitive to the whole idea of your why, linked into your why, what your vision is. Maybe you know your mission and your vision statement, but I would love you to go and take a look at them, and ask yourself really, first of all, are they coherent? And are they coherent with your business model? And are they coherent with who you are and the frequency that you're emitting? So in my Trinity Code work, we break it down from the how am I going to do this? How am I going to create this legacy? Back to the what does it look like in the marketplace or the exchange of value, as Karen talks about tomorrow. We take it back to the why, but we take it further back to who. We take it to who are you? Because most people, when they're asked, they'll say, I'm a life coach, or I'm a this coach, or I'm a that consultant. They will say what they do. We communicate by saying what we do and not what we are. Whereas people will tune into what we are before they're listening to what you do. Like when you get them when you get in front of somebody, they are, without even knowing it, you've got this whole dialogue going on already. You've got this whole dialogue going on. And they are going to make the decisions not by the fact that you say, I help these kind of people, achieve 7 figures in 6 weeks. They're not going to listen to that. They're going to be reading your energy. So it behooves you to really work on finding the alignment of your mission, your message, and your presence, which is your energy. And that means your vocabulary, that means your posture, that means your background, that means your image, style, appearance. Everything must be coherent for people to get you immediately. And when that is coherent, they will get you instantly. I had a beautiful lady come on to a call in December, and it wasn't meant to be a sales call or even a connection call. She was a subscriber of the magazine. She wanted to talk to me, so I had no expectations other than meeting one of my beautiful subscribers. We got on a call. And she said, I want to be you. And I was quite taken aback. And I said, no, you don't want to be me. You want to be your version of what you see in me. So she was instantly tuning into an energy. She was tuning into something. And she enumerated it. She said, well, you do this, you do that. I want to do all that. I want to do all these things and have them all together. And just like, and I said, yeah, but you want to do them in your way. And she said, yeah, that's what I want to do. So that, because I've been practicing this for a long time, that is how it should happen with everybody, is people understand you, they get your message, they want to work with you, they want to collaborate you, they want to invite you, they want to stay with you, they want to build with you. That's how we create community. And I've got a lovely little example in one of my programs, which is called Style to Sell, which is when you go into which is a great demonstration. When you go to a party and you don't know anybody, say for example, you're a little bit boho, you like kind of hippie stuff, and well, hippie are there hippies? I don't know, whatever new hippies are, like boho chic, whatever. And you go there and everybody else is kind of like black cocktail dresses and and very sophisticated, like Louboutin high heels, and you're going to stand there and you're going to just immediately look for somebody who resonates with the same energy, because you're going to naturally assume that you don't fit in or that you're different from all of these people. You've no idea what they do or who they are. You've no idea, but you'll be picking up on the energy and you'll be in your energy. And then at the end of the room, you're going to find somebody in gorgeous in gorgeous green linen yoga pants and some beads and a little bit tousled like yours truly, and you're going to look, because that's what we do. We want to belong. We want to recognize our own, and you can use that in all of your marketing, all of your messaging. So I just invite you to look at every single aspect of whatever you're putting out there, because what we're doing is we're putting stuff out there all the time. We're putting content out, we're writing, we're blogging, we're broadcasting, we're sharing, we're connecting, we're selling, we're building websites, we're all of these things. And really ask yourself if they are a true representation of who you are. Of who you are. In fact, I've got a lovely phrase which kind of really encaptures that, which is embody in your style, image, and energy the outcome that your clients want. Embody in your style, image, and energy the outcome that your clients want, so that they get it immediately. Is you exude what they want, including the solution. They're not going to say, I'd like your jumper. They want to feel that the solution that you say, that you talk about, that you are it, and that they can relate to that, and that they can see it's possible. They can see it's possible and wantable to work with you to have that solution and that transformation. Does that resonate with you?
It makes complete sense, Jenny. And I think, it's a really, it's another level of thinking around how we put our branding messages together. And it's so much deeper than just who's your ideal client, what's the message you think they want to hear, like what do you think is going to be relatable to them. It's a whole another level of the energy behind the shop window. And of course it brings in, who are we really? Because as you were saying, we intellectually think about what we think our skills are and what our talents are, but really people are buying into the love that we might give across, and the compassion that we bring, or the fun or the excitement that we might create. And it's that everybody is connecting with, and we all have our own flavor of it. Some of us are high, like excitable, high vibe. Some of us are a bit more quieter but deeply compassionate, and it's that energy that everybody that we're engaging with is really feeling into. And the more we can, I think, embody it and own it and not be afraid to show who we really are, there's that, I can't remember the phrase exactly, but if we don't actually allow ourselves to be seen for truly who we are, then the right people can't find us. If we're afraid to show up as who we really are, then our real tribe will not be able to find us. And so it's so important that this authenticity of image and message and energy and alignment is brought forward.
Yeah, like you use the word authenticity there, and I think that pretty much encapsulates it, because when we show up as who we really are, and that can be really scary. It can be really scary, and it can often take a little bit of time to have that confidence to show up as who you really are. But it's in that authenticity that essentially what you're doing, what you're broadcasting, is divine self-expression. Divine self-expression. How the universe wants to work through you and collaborate with your very soul to bring your gifts to the world in service to others. And when Jen's talking about, how this client or potential client, this member of like subscriber to the magazine came on and basically said, I want to be you. What's happening there is Jenny's authenticity and integrity and confidence in who she is and how she shows up and the value that she gives and delivers is so authentic that when she does that, And hopefully when I do it and Dawn does it and any of you guys out there do it with your clients, you are adding value to the lives of other people through your gifts. And then that magical Michelangelo moment happens. The Sistine Chapel, you know, I can never remember the name of it, but it's like that magical moment where the God spark and the human touch fingers and there's all the electricity and lightning. And that moment happens on a call when you show up as your most authentic, inspirational, genuine, I am in service to you from a pure place of love and giving. And your gift triggers their gift. And in that moment, that's the yes. When you're on a sales call, a discovery call, and you're just giving that of you, that is when you get the yeses. They don't want to buy what you've got, what your offer is, what your package is. That's not what they're there for. They're there for you because they want to share your energy. They want to feel their divinity sparked within them by collaborating and being in a space with you. Like attracts like, and boom, magic happens. So yeah, everything you've said and divinity dropped in as well, I reckon.
Yeah. And I'm just going to add to that too, because I think in the context of the whole event, a little subtext to all of this is actually expanding and growing beyond the current level that we're doing life at, the current level that we're doing business at, which is going to require us to get out of our comfort zone and go beyond our fear in all areas. And that's a biggie. That's a fun one. It's a biggie because, you know, we're all human. We all feel the fear. And I think, you know, when Jenny was asking the questions about if money were no object, you know, what would you do? That can trigger actually a lot of fear in people because, in fact, I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago and she said, I really have not allowed myself to dream that big before. And I've never imagined actually being able to have the resources financially to be able to do this. Mm-hmm. And, you know, this is going to come up as we go through the event. You know, if money was no object and you actually allowed it to be in your space and you were able to not let fear get the better of you, what could you create? Mm-hmm. It's a very potent question, but we're going to show you a way through that fear to the other side to make it a reality.
Totally. And but at this stage, it's still the best question to ask. Personally, for me, if money were no object, I'd be doing exactly the same thing. I would change nothing about my life, you know, or the projects I got, nothing, because that's how aligned I am. So this is the beauty. This is the exquisite beauty of alignment. Is there isn't a difference between your life and the money. They become one. And in my story, because I used to be absolutely hopeless with money, but I was always a great learner. In other words, I did so much transformation. But what I did notice was that before I had a more acute understanding of the dynamics and what was going on, was that letting my heart lead, letting my heart lead, even before I knew words like frequency and, you know, all of this vocabulary, was that it kept leading to an up-leveled life, whatever that looked like. It kept leading to the next level and the next level and the next level and the next level. And Karen and I both love our levels as we expand. So as you get paid to be the change and you keep up leveling yourself, this is a really key point, is the amount of what determines your ability to access in whatever way, energetically and in your bank, the kind of financial freedom that we're talking about. It depends on your ability to change. Now I've got a in this month's edition of House of Preeminence, that I think my Mistress of Change article is about choices, changes, and commitments. It is about how willing you are to change. Change is it needs to be kind of almost at a giddying speed if we want to see the results. It's work in progress, day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour. And that's why I've created the preeminence container for that accelerated growth. This is what we're doing with Preeminence Rising is that is the container. And one of the principles that we are activating is a quantum one. It's the living as if. We are not striving to get somewhere. We're not trying to get to anywhere. We are living from a state of being. We live from preeminence, not trying to get to preeminence. So this is like being in constant prayer. It's like living in prayer. It's not praying for something to happen, like praying for a miracle or praying for, a rush of clients. It's affirming, it's living your life as an affirmation of who you are and the blessings that you have, and absolutely, as Karen mentioned, the divinity that you are, and the divine relationship that we have with infinite abundance. So let's just touch on that a tiny bit, because I think Friday you are going to have your minds blown a little bit. Be prepared to have your minds blown. That's what I'm going to say now, without giving anything away. So it's when I said to you at the beginning, be a possibilitarian, a money possibilitarian. I really mean that. We are gonna take the lid off what is possible for you and everybody that you and your work touches through this work. So this is why I wanted to ground it today with you, priming you to be in a position to get paid to be the change at the scale you want. Get paid to be the change at the scale you want. So how freaking exciting is that? So everything about preeminence and the 9 graces of preeminence that we practice, that are in all the magazines, in the groups, they are a very detailed and really feminine way of being. I'll just go through them quickly for those. There'll be people who've never heard of the 9 graces of preeminence. The 9 graces of preeminence are a blueprint, a success blueprint, or a preeminent blueprint that I received on transmission, because they are all definitions of preeminence. Preeminence means you living your highest life as your highest self in your own unique way, however your soul wants to. And the 9 graces take that and it breaks it down into excellence, distinction, renown, peerlessness, prestige, leadership, endurance, and renewal. Hope I haven't forgotten one. And they are a cycle. They are a cycle because women function in cycles. We are cyclical. We cycle with the moon. We cycle with our lives. We cycle with the seasons. We're in contact with nature because we are really, really connected to cycles. So the 9 graces allow you, by tapping into them and using them as a support to get paid to be the change. And my beautiful guild members do this now. Naturally, they know, am I in transcendence, or am I in endurance, or is it time for renewal? And that is a way of being in each of those graces has a frequency which will have an effect. So everything about this project is about priming you. I think priming is such a beautiful word. Is priming you to get paid to be the change at the scale level that you want. And again, later we're going to be talking about how willing you are to do that, how willing you are to open up to the new possibilities. So here's one thing that I am going to touch on, and I expect my colleagues would like to comment on this, is because it's really key. We've been asking for this for a really long time, a really, really, really long time. Like, we know that the money system, you know, as it's come to be, is screwed, that it is loaded on one side, one very tiny, weeny, very powerful side. We know that. We have seen how unjust it is, how stupid it is, you know, how it doesn't make sense. I'm not talking about the energetics of money. I'm talking about just banks and, you know, all these institutions and that stuff. But so we've kind of gone along with it because we just thought that that's the way that it is. But at the same time, we've been yearning for something different. We've been yearning for another way. We've been asking and calling it in, except that on our own, it's hard to do that. It's like, well, oh gosh, how could it be different where the distribution of wealth was more just and more people got it? And we ask ourselves those questions, and they're really, really, really important questions. So do you want to comment on that, ladies?
I definitely do, Jenny, because I think when we start to look at the amount of money that's available in the world every day, and I've been learning a lot about this over the past couple of years, and the significant volume of the flow of money, there really should be nobody starving. There should be nobody who doesn't have clean water. There should be nobody that doesn't have access to the basic fundamentals that make, a hygienic, healthy, safe human existence. And I believe that part of this coming together and what we co-create going forward is contribution to rebalance this. And to be what we mean by getting paid to be the change is by stepping into our own truth, our own leadership, and our own ability to say, you know what, this is my time to actually be a person who is willing to receive more, to create more, to receive more, to be playing life differently, and to be then activated out in the world to actually get involved in different things, without any judgment on anybody, that we all have our different things and that will be what it is for you. But having the ability to, like, there's one of my coaches, mentors says, if the broke person can help nobody. And there's a fabulous book, which was one of the first books that really switched me on to wealth consciousness about 10 years ago. And it's The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. If you haven't read the book, I highly, highly recommend it. It's a very skinny book. You can read it in probably a couple of hours. And he talks about how it is really our responsibility and our divine purpose to be abundantly wealthy, because as a human, as a soul, if you like, living a human experience, our optimization, like our fullest potential, requires us to be able to have access to all the things that we want for ourselves, but also to be able to bestow love, gifts, contribution on others. So I love the way he writes about it, because he encapsulates this message that it's actually our responsibility to be wealthy, to overflow. And I love that. That was my first entry into, this whole wealth mindset that started to open the door to be, no longer living in lack, and to be thinking about, actually, I can be a person who is a contribution, rather than thinking I haven't got enough to give. So, I would be curious to know who that resonates with, because I think, as women, we are largely programmed to be living that way. The book is called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. I don't know if I can type it anywhere, can I? But maybe we can place it.
I'm sure people know about it. It's a classic.
Yes, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. It's a very easy read, but it's a very empowering, quite a spiritual read, actually, about the opening of abundance.
Mm-hmm. And I want to sort of drop my 2 pennies worth in here. coming back to that powerful question, when we've been looking at the state of the world and the amount of money and abundance that's available to those chosen few, and how those chosen few don't always share that with the, you know, why we've got poverty in the world, why we've got like people who are living with no water and having to travel hundreds of miles for medicines and things that ought to be widely available for everybody. And how frustrating that has been for so many heart-centered people, particularly women, probably. I don't want to exclude the men, but I just think that women have just got this natural way about them of wanting to help and wanting to be part of a solution. And something very powerful has happened, where enough of us have been asking that question, oftentimes out of frustration, but with a true desire for the answer. And when you ask a question from a place of really desiring the solution, really a place of deep curiosity, Jenny used the word yearning for that answer, wonderment of what the answer could be, you create a vacuum. Energetically, you create a vacuum when you ask a question. Nature abhors a vacuum, and it will drop the solution in when you're a vibrational match for it. And this is what is key here. This is one of the reasons why I'm so excited about our little trinity and how we're going to be supporting others to step into what we perceive as something that could really be the solution to not only that question, but the solution to wealth in our families, wealth through the generations of families, wealth to all the projects that we're passionate about. Because here's the thing, in order for a solution to be available to you, you must vibrate at the frequency. And what this means, and why I'm so excited about it, is that for this to have dropped in, for this to have landed for us and for everybody else that's involved, we've become a vibrational match now for the solution. We've done the inner work, or whatever you want to call it, that's required to shift vibration to become a match for a solution, finally. And that is so exciting for me, because there's never, ever, ever a question that doesn't have a solution. But you can't be available for the solution if you're focusing on the problem, on the question. You have to shift and be available for the solution to show itself to you, for the universe to drop that in. And there's no coincidences, loves. There's no random. The universe just is not that lazy. Anybody that is here with us now, anybody that is orbiting us in our businesses, anyone who's in House of Preeminence, anybody who Dawn is talking to or interviewing, anybody that's in my spectrum in terms of my work, they're all a vibrational match for this. And you're all here listening to this with us now because you're a vibrational match for the solution. You could have been anywhere. Today, tomorrow, the next day when we're doing this, you could have chosen to be anywhere. And your soul and the universe guided you and collided you with us because you are a vibrational match for the solution to the question that we've all been asking for so long. I mean, and what could be more exciting than that?
Yeah, just fabulous.
Absolutely.
Thank you. That was just fabulous. So this is what it means to get paid to be the change. This is what it means. This is just such a pearl of a topic. It's such a pearl, and it is not a fantasy. It is happening. But again, we don't want to give away all of the treats all in one go. We're keeping we're feeding them out to you a little bit at a time. So, that's why today I wanted to talk to you about how some of the reasons that how you can prime yourself to be in a receptive mode and to be active in this dynamic by in a practical way, a practical and energetic way, by really examining, you know, I'm sure that nearly everybody who'll be listening to this is a business owner, is how you really show up in your business as your message. You will already, if when you get that aligned, when you get that, you know, really beautifully aligned. And please come and talk to me on that if you're interested in that. That is the first step. That is absolutely the first step, and it also means that you really will start to see the bigger picture for yourself in your own business about how it can be scaled, how you can bring your, what I love to call magnum opus to the world, your great work, because I do believe that everybody has a magnum opus to bring to the world. Everybody has a magnum opus inside them, a great work, an œuvre d'art, as we say in French. Everybody does, and that is so much more powerful than just being a something coach. It's a really fine, noble, and worthy thing, but you know you are destined for greatness. You know you have genius in you. You know you have superpowers, and you know when you activate all of those, you do touch on the exponential nature of your business, your life, on everything. So for those who are listening to this, maybe on LinkedIn or YouTube or somewhere else, or on a replay, and you don't know how you landed here apart from being a vibrational match, because the universe brought you here. I'm just going to be I'm going to be really pragmatic and show you how to come into our world, which is through the magazine, which the URL is going across the bottom of the screen. This is where it all starts. This is our incredible tool that goes out monthly with full of changemaker wisdom on every topic under the sun, and brilliant marketing help, advice, support, everything, with some epic contributors, and also my lovely guild ladies as well. Got to shout out to them. If you want to join us, please come into the Preeminence Rising group on Facebook. This is where we keep moving forward all of these projects, where you can collaborate, where we can get into dialogue, where we can show you what's happening. We are also going to be inviting you to a special room on Friday, where you can find out more about what we're talking about and pursue the opportunity. So we've got a kind of special place. But in the meantime, come into Preeminence Rising, or even better, come into the Guild of Preeminence with my gorgeous ambassadors, and start practicing these 9 graces, so that you are the change you want to see in your business, and as I love to say, be the change you want to see in your bank account. So let's just go very quickly as we wrap up today over some of the gifts that we've got available for you. So for everybody who is attending the 3 days, I'm gifting my Dream Life Planner. Well, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you have a Dream Life Planner? Because I'm viscerally attached to your dreams. So that'll be to everybody who's commented or turned up, or we can find you from knowing that you've been. For those who attend the 3 days, I really recommend you do. If you're excited by what we've been talking about, then you got to do this. I'm also giving away one of my incredible Walk to Wealth audio meditations, which actually somebody listened to this and after a week manifested $10,000. Yeah, They are very powerful, gorgeous musical meditations to work your body to. And if you've already got one, then I'll give you another one. So there's three of them, and they are absolutely fabulous. Karen is going to be offering her evidence journal, which is a beautiful document that you can actually do this work of grounding as you see the evidence of all of the upgrades in your life. Christine Williams, who is one of our executive contributors, has offered also two gorgeous gifts. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about those tomorrow. They are very, very high value. She's a 7-figure coach. She coaches to and wellness practitioners to 7 figures with ease and love and all those beautiful things we talk about. She's got 2 gifts for you.
And Karen and Jenny, we have a very special gift on Friday, which will be announced on Friday. You've got to come on Friday to hear about what I'm gifting.
Are you talking about Anna or something else?
I'm talking about something else.
Okay. Oh, super. Oh, surprises. So yes, on the banner, you will have seen that there are four ladies in this event. And our colleague, Anna Feldman, who on the right of the banner, who is in the red, in the red top, she's in Australia, so she couldn't join us tonight. She is going to be the one probably who blows your mind the most. So we've got that to share with you on Friday in the Friday episode. So is there anything else that you ladies would like to share today?
Well, I think it's been a fabulous kickoff, Jenny. Well done. And just to invite this idea of possibilities, and I would just like to seed this being courageous and being willing and open to do something that you've never done before and be someone that you have never been yet, because this is your calling to the next level.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think I just want to maybe piggyback on that a little bit and just say, if you create through the process of choice and consequence, which you do, and if you didn't believe that to be your truth somewhere, you wouldn't be here with us. That is what a conscious creator does, creates through the process of choice and consequence. Then it kind of makes sense that if you were choosing already what you need to be and the choices that you need to choose to become a vibrational match for the kind of wealth and abundance that we're talking about, and that which you desire, if you're actually making those choices already, you'd already have that money. You wouldn't even need to be here. What you've been doing up to now, sorry loves, it just isn't cutting it. Changes need to be made. New choices need to happen so that you become a vibrational match for that. That's where the change you need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable enough to change. And I invite you to do that. And I'm going to be exploring that with you maybe a little bit tomorrow. Tomorrow, you might want to bring a notebook and a pen, because we're going to be taking some actual steps tomorrow. You're going to have a little to-do list by the time we finish tomorrow, so that you can move the needle of alignment, so that you are on your way to becoming a match for being the possibilitarian that your soul desires you to be. So I'm looking forward to that.
Fabulous. Well, we're going to wrap up there, bang on the hour. And I hope you've enjoyed this. We're going to come over and join you on Facebook in the chat, in the thread, and talk about this and continue the conversation. Anything that you want to ask us in the chat, in the Facebook Preeminence Rising Facebook group, come on over, join us. This just got started. Today has been all about you and your beautiful mission. Tomorrow it's about money and you, and Friday is about money. So they're inseparable, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're inseparable. So thank you so much for all of you who have joined us live. It really that really does our hearts good to know that you are willing and in this adventure with us, and we won't disappoint. We promise you, it's going to be amazing. And I think that's it. And there was one more thing. I just wanted to finish on my favorite expression because it's my philosophy, it's my motto, and it's grounds in everything we've been talking about. Is show up as your highest self every day, and your highest life will meet you there. Show up as your highest self every day, and your highest life will meet you there. Honest. Right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the comments. Yeah. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what everybody's written.